Oh, hey y'all, how's it going? Fatty here, and thanks for joining me on the channel that's been giving Bob's advantages since the beginning of Ark. And today I'm bringing you the top 5 PvP base locations on Genesis 2, and let's not waste any more of your time and jump straight into it. Now this first spot's going to be located at 50.3, 34.7. Now this is going to be located on kind of the purple side of the map, and this is going to be definitely one of the very best base locations that I've ever found. Now there's two parts to this, and they're both really rat holes. They're next to these spires that are kind of overlooking. Now you just fly to the buildings that are right behind it. And when you start to look up, you're going to notice this like little crevice, and when you come up here, there's going to be this nice little flat spot. Now this spot is going to be the smaller of the two that I'm going to show you in this area. This one's going to be great for breeding and just putting some dinosaurs up here and just letting them kind of do their thing. You're going to want to put a little bit of a turret wall up here just to prevent people from getting up here. And in both of these spots, you're going to need to build up if you don't want somebody else to build in the other one and then kind of conflict for resources and, you know, just PvP, pushing turrets. It's going to be kind of a complicated thing. So just kind of like on this other one, you're going to want to look for this kind of notch that's pushed up a little bit, and then again there's going to be this little area. Now this one's even bigger and a lot harder to get into, so when I'm in flying and admin commands, it makes it almost impossible to get into. So I was trying to find like another entrance just to make sure there wasn't one, and what I noticed is when you're up there you have to use a tech suit and just keep pushing yourself up there until you hear yourself land. If you can hear yourself land and like the tech boots kind of take a hold, that is going to be when you want to crouch. And if you can crouch, then once you get your footing on the ground, then you'll be able to get up there. So as you heard, I had the feet hit, but then I started falling again, and you get in this like perpetual little fall state, and you got to fly back up a bit. But just wait till you hear the sound of your feet hitting, and then you're able to crouch. Once you're able to crouch, then you're in this ginormous area. It is going to be so insanely good for breeding, building, anything like that. And it does seem like it isn't one of those really glitch spots that they might patch out later. It might be a little bit too OP just because of how you have to get up here, but I do not think this is going to be one of those ones that are going to be patched out anytime soon. And that's what makes this one of the best PvP spots on Genesis 2. Coming in at number 4, this one's going to be located at 50.7, 09.3. Now this one's probably going to be the smallest one of all of them on this entire list, but it is a pretty good rat hole nonetheless. What you want to do is look for this giant tentacle that's kind of wrapping over this building in this area, and where the tentacle meets the actual building itself, there's going to be this little triangle cutout, and through that cutout is going to be this really nice base location. Now it's not quite a crouch, you can fully walk into there, so you're going to have to be careful about people like rocket running in or rocket tech suiting in, I guess, for this one. But there's a ton of area, you know. You can come up here and be creative with some of the space locations, and if you fly way up here, there's this other little kind of tucked in area where you could definitely put a vault and hide some of your stuff, so even if you got raided, it might be able to hide it, or even put like a Prolovia or something else of like that nature back here to help hide your loot. So it is a pretty good spot. I do think it is a little bit more of a known spot on the couple servers I've played on, and I've seen people building here, so just be cautious of that one as well. Coming in at that third base location, it's going to be located at 48.3, 12.8. Now this is going to be the last one that's located above land before I show you the underwater base locations and how to get to those underwater base spots as well. This one's going to be located around this giant tentacle that wraps around this like circular spire. Now when you fly up, you're going to notice that there's actually quite a bit of little buildable area here. This isn't going to be a one for a mega tribe. This is probably going to be one that's for like a solo or just a very small tribe. Now there are two little things that you got to worry about. You do have this like little lip that people can kind of spy underneath, so you just got to watch that. Maybe put a turret or two that can look that way. When people do peek, it is only their head, and it is hard to get a tech rifle in. I was able to get a couple shots, not all the way to the back because it is kind of hitting and splash damaging. So just don't have your turrets anywhere near there that are close, or your generator that's close there. You want to definitely put it kind of on the back, and as well your death wall that faces that way. So you just have to be really thoughtful how you build here. Now in this tower part, you can get down here and there's a lot of buildable space as well as breeding space, and you can't see in from the outside. Now the cliff plats you can see from the outside, but you know, you can protect most of your cliff plats so people can't get underneath it, and put a couple turrets to protect around the outside. But I don't know if I would actually build in this section here. I've seen a couple people who have built when I was trying to build on this place on my server. I think it's one of those glitch spots that are going to be patched out really soon, so I would just stick to the ledge and not build on the inside. Now these last two ones are going to be located underneath the water in the kind of underwater biome is what I'm going to call it. So my favorite entrance is going to be located at 41.8, 63.2, and it's just this giant metal circle in this lake that's by the waterfall. And it's just so easy to find. It just stands out, and then it's literally just right below it. and you just zoom right in. And this is also a great place to find water and oil and different things, but this is where you're going to need to go to find these next 2 base locations. Coming in that number 2 spot, this one's going to be located at 40.6, 70.7. Now this is going to be located again underneath the water. Now my favorite part about this is it's just this really nice flat ledge. There's a ton of space, but it's not ginormous, but you can definitely do a lot of breeding. If you're a smaller tribe, trios, anything like that, this is going to be perfect. You can put your generator back here. You're going to be able to reach where you want your wall, but they're not going to be able to tech rifle it or anything like that. As well as the underwater biome has a lot of those good resources. Now, it's a little bit more difficult to get those resources where you need to go, but this is going to be one of the best places, I think, for you to build. There's not a lot of other resources or anything like right around it or base locations. So like people aren't going to be coming in this area just to explore or looking for a raid or anything like that. So I think you're just going to stay off the beaten path, and that's going to make this one really, really hard for people to find, notice you, and hard for them to like raid you, because, you know, can't raid what you can't find. Coming in at the number 1 spot for the best PvP base location on Genesis, this one's going to be located at 43.3, 68.5. Now what I really like about this base, just besides it being a really difficult one to raid, because there's not going to be a great place for people to fob, they're going to have an underwater tech fob to get to you, but when they do even set up that tech fob, they're not going to be really able to set a great trap against your entrance. There are 2 entrances, which is always the worst part of any cave that has more than 1 entrance or a crouch point. But the thing is, from my personal experience when I've raided, one of the hardest things to do is come out of an underwater like breach point, kind of like, you know, if you want to think North Ice and different things like that on the center. This one is going to have 2 of those locations, which I think are just so difficult to raid. So if you put up a little death wall on each side, it is going to be impossible for people to get in here. And that kind of cool thing is you can see outside of your base super clear and well, but you have all of this just like beautiful spot to build. It's all really flat, really nice. You're deep in the water, so it's not going to be the easiest one for people to raid. Now, it is not going to be the most hidden base location because it is just one of those built-in structures, and when you're underwater, it kind of does stand out. But it is just absolutely too gorgeous and too nice not to build in. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want more hidden base locations, I do have 2 other videos out already on my channel, so go check those out. If you guys want any more guides, taming guides, base locations, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.